Yo, we are back. We are back. And unfortunately, I got to face my guy, but we are back. Welcome to McCoy Van Noy, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. I am one half of your gracious host, none other than Gerald McCoy, the 93rd one of the world. Big chest from the Midwest, the one that never fails. I only thrive because, killer, I'm from where? The south side of the 405. And my gracious co-host is...
Winner, chicken dinner, Kyle Van Noy. Shout out to my guy, G. I know he's been excited to be on the pod all day. Because guess what? He has to face the music.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make him do anything because I'm not that petty.
Oh, no, this is a symphony, baby.
I appreciate you. I've been excited to get on the show with you. How you doing, G?
Talk about music, man. This is Beethoven right here. That was beautiful. You talk about music. That's music, man. This is Motown 25, man. This is Michael Jackson bad album. What you mean?
You see how everybody,
music,
you see how Gerald's got the purple in the back?
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, I told you this is my brother, man.
Purple.
Hey, man, this is my brother, man. I had to show love. You know, I didn't go all the way in. I still left a little orange spot, back in the days. But this is kind of how we looked when we was wearing this, when the Bucs was wearing this. That's kind of how we played yesterday. So it's all good. But I got the room lit in purple because I got to show love. I've been saying it. I said it Sunday, and I'm going to say it again. The best team in the NFL playing the best football is the Baltimore Ravens, and they showed it yesterday. Killer, let's get into it. Talk to us about the game.
Well, I mean, the game started off hot for the Bucs. They came in with a lot of energy on Monday night. They punched us in the mouth. But guess what? When you get punched in the mouth, what are you going to do? And we punched back.
Yeah.
And we kept punching and
hard.
Kept punching. And wow. The floodgates opened. And it's awesome to be a part of a game like that because it kind of shows we're not front runners, especially when you get punched in the mouth, where they have a lot of momentum. They come out and they score. They take the ball right away in the game. A lot of teams defer. They decide not to, and they executed on that first drive and go up. That was kind of like a big slap in the face. Like, yeah, we're here today, and I respect that. They were out. They came out. They executed on that first drive, put up 7 points with Mike Evans for his 100th career touchdown. Congrats to him, Hall of Famer. Felt bad he got hurt, but man, we just battled offensively. We were clicking on all cylinders after that first drive where they had a couple sacks, but they settled down. Defensive settled down. We were able to just get stops when we needed to early, and then the offense started rolling, and they didn't stop. I mean, they looked really, really explosive last night. Yeah. LJ delivering that football. He was told he not a pocket passer, and boy, did he look good in the pocket last night. It was so impressive, G, to watch and see him go crazy passing. Rashad Bateman had a huge game.
That bomb he threw to Bateman.
Oh,
God,
fire,
boy.
Yeah, Bateman's just been slowly
the route,
getting
the
better.
pass.
It started last year. He was getting open a lot, and the separation he creates, and you just know you got to keep working. They're gonna figure it out, and Eric DeCosta looks awesome because he gave a contract to Bateman, and everybody was kind of like, and then Bateman, he's balling right now. He's really stepping up. He's stepping up to be a top receiver on our team. Him and Zay are really, really stepping up for us, and it's awesome to see a young guys where there's question marks at receiver room, and they are putting exclamation marks, and I love that. Good for the both of them.
Man, listen, you guys, I said y'all have 2 MVP candidates in that backfield. Lamar, all year, all offseason, he's been blocking out the noise and only focused on being a better quarterback. They said he came in this training camp and this season lighter, You know, and a lot of people are saying he looks so much faster, so much more explosive. And
oh my gosh,
the rest of us,
moving.
the rest of us are looking like he's more explosive, he's faster, and they said it, but now we're seeing it. But what I'm loving that we're seeing from Lamar is showing everybody what he said on draft day is true. Not a wide receiver, not nobody's running. I'm a quarterback. And because it looks different, doesn't mean it's not right. Lamar gets the job done. Sometimes he has incredible stats, sometimes he has okay-ish stats. But one thing you can never say about Lamar is he don't get the job done. He figures out a way and he finds a way. And yesterday, the way he operated that offense, after that first drive, he shook his head and said, all right, bet, we in the game. Let's go play football. And it's crazy because I was driving back from Oklahoma yesterday, and my wife had the game over plugged into the car, and I'm listening.
Sorry for that.
I know. I will not get into that.
You haven't heard me bragging about my alma mater, but we undefeated.
Y'all undefeated. Y'all running the Big 12. Is BYU running the Big 12? They running the Big 12. Came over like, hey man, listen,
like that.
all our 30-year-olds that's still playing right now, we gonna come in and beat up on these kids.
Hey, it's not like that anymore. Guys can go on missions early. I think that's something that people don't know. They're not as old as they used to be.
Yeah, but hey, listen, BYU is running it and we suck. But anyway, the way Lamar after that first drive came back and said, you know what? I got this. And like I said, I was listening to it, and my wife, she said, baby, don't get too hyped. She said, you know one thing about Lamar is he may start slow, but you never count him out. He's always going to shake back. And I told myself when we went down on that second drive and Tristan Wirfs got that holding call after we scored, I said, that's going to cost us because this is a team you cannot get field goals against. They're going to score touchdowns. So every touchdown you can get, you have to get. And Lamar, for sure, made us pay. Y'all were on us. I was a little surprised the fact that we could run the ball a little bit. You know, that surprised me. I think it surprised everybody because it's like, this is a team you can't run the football on. But you guys eventually figured it out defensively. Sucks that you guys lost Marlon Humphrey, because he made two very, very, very key plays in the first half to slow our momentum. And, shout out to my guys. Yeah, go ahead.
And then to what you're saying, you can lean on Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry rushed for another 169 games. We're here, or 196 yards. And we're just saying it to like it's nothing, like we did last week. I mean, it's so impressive when you go through a furies of plays all game where you're getting screen pass, this, that, and then you get to the fourth quarter and you can just hand the ball off to him and let him go and he breaks 80-yarders. That's tough on a defense after, trying to stop everything, right? And then you got to worry about Lamar pulling the ball and running. I think, like you said, the momentum changed when Marlon Humphrey got his first pick. It just kind of opened the floodgates for us, and we just got rolling. We started playing complementary football, and then we had some lulls at the end, which we got to figure that out. If we're trying to be a championship team, we got to cut it out. I saw the comments of Ed Reed, and he's right. If we're trying to win a championship, we got to cut that out at the end of the game. And that's the difference between a good team and a great team. And we're not there yet. And that's the beauty of it. We're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to get better. There was a lot of great things in this game, but we got to cut it out at the end of the games. We are better than that. And we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I don't want to take credit away from you guys. The Bucs didn't play particularly great. But you guys capitalized on all our mistakes. Now,
and then we didn't take advantage of some too at the end. Like there was probably like 3 more drop picks, and that was a bummer. But I do want to hit something that was going to be talked about is Mike Evans, the hamstring, and then Chris Godwin's injury. I want to talk about Mike Evans' injury, and I want you to explain how hard that is.
Yeah.
When you have a record like he had so close to breaking, and then on top of that, he had a hamstring earlier in the week, and then you fight. I don't know his severity of what it was during the week, but just that feeling like you have to play, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I've had tough situations where I've played through injury. Can you just talk about that and how hard that is to make a decision to play and look down the road like, hey, we got a winning team, and then the now where I have to play now?
Yeah. Well, we have a team like what the Bucs have who are on the brink of becoming one of those contenders. You want and need all your guys to make that happen. And you feel like all the puzzle pieces are finally coming together to be able to make this thing work. And I've been in situations where I've talked to the GM, I've talked to the head coach, I've talked to my position coach, I've talked to the trainers, and they like, can you go this week? And I'm like, I can, but, and you just play it by ear. But you got the Baltimore Ravens coming into town. We're 4-2. They 4-2. We just put up a 50 burger on a division opponent. This team puts up a lot of points. To not have one of the best receivers of all time playing, it's kind of, so you try and nurse it throughout the week and you say, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Warm up. He probably felt good before the game. Maybe got an injection, maybe. Before the game was feeling good. But Mike has a history of his hamstring. And I seen last week when they played New Orleans, Mike kind of was moving gingerly. And I text my friend and I said, I think Mike pulled his hamstring again. It was like, but he's still in the game. I'm like, because he's Mike Evans. He's freaking Mike Evans. He's missed 9 games in his entire career. 9 games in 11 seasons. He's freaking Mike Evans. So he's going to go, but to try and push through, and I think this is where I think the Bucs went wrong, is if you're going to use him as a red zone target, just use him as a red zone target.
Yeah.
He could be in the field.
Limited his reps.
He can be in the field, run a few routes as a decoy, whatever. But I think what happened is he scored that touchdown where he had to run a little bit, but he was wide open. There was a breakdown in the defense, and he was wide open. Baker put it right in the honey hole. Mike caught it, but what most people didn't realize is when Mike caught the ball, he laid there for a second and kind of rubbed on his hamstring. So at that point, what I think they should have done is say, hey, listen, we might put you out there in the middle of the field as a decoy, but when you get in the red zone, that's all we need you to do. Be a red zone target. And they were rolling. We had some momentum. Like I said, we scored another touchdown, got called back because of a holding. That pass that Baker actually threw to Mike, this is what I believe happened. I don't believe that Mike dropped the ball, which, if you look, it's a drop. I think when he reached for that ball, you seen when they slowed it down, he hyperextended his leg, which pulled that hammy. I think the pain from his hammy just made him say, forget this football. Like he just, like Mike is very resilient and very tough. And you just want to go for it. You just want to go and play for your teammates. Mike has always been like that. And it's a tough situation to be in, man, because you feel like I don't think people understand what we play through, and that we're warriors, and that a lot of, man, I tore my bicep tendon.
Yeah.
I tore my bicep tendon
Modern
on the
day
third
gladiators.
play. I'm telling you, I tore my bicep tendon on the third play of Monday Night Football. We were playing Pittsburgh Steelers. They did a check down to Antonio Brown, turned to run, made the tackle, and I landed on my shoulder like this. And the year prior, I had tore this bicep tendon versus the Lions. Well, so I knew what it was. I went to the sideline. They was like, yeah, you tore your bicep tendon again. Because it was Monday Night Football, and I said, I'm not missing Monday Night Football versus the Pittsburgh Steelers of all people. Big Ben is over there. Antonio Brown is over there. This team is rolling. You know what? I said, hey, put tape around my shoulder. I had to tape it down, and I missed 2, maybe 3 snaps. And I went right back in. That's just the type of people we are. We're warriors, man, and that's what Mike is. And it sucks, hindsight is 20/20. But
now let's go to Chris Godwin real quick. That's something that's the topic. Should he been? It's going to be a major topic. He been in? Should he have been out? Like, I know, teams have come back on us a couple of times, so you feel like you can win, but that 34-10, and then you're getting down to the wire. Should he have been in? Should he have been out? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I've been in that situation, but I've been on the other end where the offense we're losing, and they just kind of running the ball to run the clock out. And I could easily have come out the game, but just being the competitor I am, I stayed in.
Yeah.
Well, in that situation, it's more like I'm a defensive lineman. I'm just kind of playing the run. Anything can happen, but in this situation, it's like we're trying to come back. Mike is out already. Okay, we're not going to run the ball. CG's our guy, so we're going to go to him. At that instance, I feel like, nah. And this is me personally. I wouldn't have Baker in either. This is not even about just Chris Godwin. I wouldn't have Baker in the game either, because the game is out of reach. And a lot of people say, well, they got the onside and this, and then Baltimore. No. We wasn't coming back. We wasn't if you understand the sport and how momentum works and you see how the game is going, there was no instance in that game where we were going to come back. None. You guys were not going to let us come back. So Chris could have easily been taken out of the game. Baker could have easily been taken out of the game. But here's what I don't want people to do. And the fans are going to kill me for this, but I don't care, because I've been in those buildings. I know how the operation works, and I know who says what. And I'm not just talking about the Bucs. I'm talking about a pro team, period. The head coach has final say. But he has final say on everything that happens with this football team. Special teams, defense, offense, what coach is doing what, time management, all of this, watching everything. So for people to sit here and blame Todd Bowles for having Chris Godwin in the game, do you know how much other stuff he has to worry about? He's on the sideline probably thinking, okay, we lost Mike, we lost this one, we got Atlanta coming up, let's get out this game. Well, what could I have done different? Well, dang, the defense, should I have blitzed here? Should I have done this and this? Man, you got a head coach, you got a coordinator, and you got a position coach. Every team I've been on, unless it was preseason, my position coach controlled whether I was in the game or not. The head coach ain't walking down to every position group saying, take him out, take him out, take him. You know what? You know how much time that would take to have to worry about every position group? So for fans to just be blaming Todd Bowles and this and that, man, I'm not going to let y'all put this on Todd Bowles, man. It's a lot of variables that went into Chris Godwin being in the game. Chris is a competitor, and he's one of the best receivers in the league. If he don't want to come out, he ain't coming out the game. When I tweeted last night, why was he in the game? That was a broad question. Dang, Chris, why would you stay in the game? Dang, why wouldn't somebody take him out the game? The game is out of reach. Just why is this happening at this moment? I wasn't pointing at any coach. I wasn't blaming anybody, because, of course, after the fact, you can look back and say, well, this should have happened, that should have happened. It's a lot of variables that go into a star player being in the game at the end of the game. I've seen Tom be in the game at the end of the game when they were getting blown out. It's like, why the heck is Tom Brady still in the game? Because he's freaking Tom Brady. He can do what he wants.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thoughts on it. And it sucks to see. I think they said he has a dislocated ankle.
Yeah.
He's in a contract year. And, it's just Mike is out. CG's out. The Bucs had such a promising season, man, and it's no telling what's going to happen moving forward. We got Atlanta coming up, and it just sucks to see and for that to be my team. But just period, man, like even Marlon. And that's why I tweeted last night, we can have all the back and forths we want. The thing that's most important is the player's health. And there was a lot of people that got banged up last night. There's a lot of people that got banged up last night. Yes, that's what I'm saying, man.
That's why you fight for your money.
Yeah, so prayers to everybody who went out, not just the Bucs players. And we can argue this and that. Man, it don't matter. The players' health is what matters. We all need to be wishing well to the players. Anything can happen. Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the 4th play last year. Routine play towards Achilles. Things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
before we go to break, I do have to ask you, what did you think of, regardless of your thoughts on him, what did you think of Deshaun Watson getting booed at home after rupturing his Achilles?
That's BS. Like, don't take fandom so far. I understand fan is short for fanatic, but don't take it so far to where you wishing bad on somebody. Like, I know we seen the video of Jameis saying what he was saying and people are making fun of it, but what Jameis said is absolutely right. We understand what the situation around him outside of football is.
Yeah.
But on this field, he's still out here giving everything he has. Do you think that he signed the biggest contract and the only guaranteed money and all that ever to go out there and play bad? Y'all think he wants to go out there and play? Like, he's really giving this organization and this league, this team, everything he's got. So for people to applaud and be happy that he got hurt and all that's some nonsense,
I thought that was crazy.
That's corny. That's corny from anybody who did it, anybody who's condoning it. All of y'all corny, and that's whack. I don't care. Yeah, you never, for nobody. That is completely whack. I remember when KD tore his Achilles versus the Toronto Raptors, and you heard applaud. I'm like, why are they clapping?
Yeah.
Like, that's
didn't
corny,
it happen
man.
in Kansas City too? I think. Was it Matt Castle?
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's happened in Kansas City too.
You'll never applaud a person
younger.
injury. That's like an like an attorney who's a high-powered attorney and they're in a high-profile case, okay? And then they get to the case and they somehow every note they had, every piece of evidence, all that just get deleted. It's just gone. All this work I put in, it's just gone. That's what it feels like. Injury, I put in all this work. I just worked to stay in shape. And they got a nutritionist. I'm studying film. I know what Cincinnati can do every week in and week out, for it to just be snatched from you with an injury. And you can't do nothing about it. That's a horrible feeling for an athlete. So for people to be sitting here clapping and applauding for that, that's whack and that's corny, because y'all don't know what it takes to be a pro athlete. I have no idea. That's weak, man. I ain't like that at all.
Bro.
But shouts out to y'all. On a brighter note, shouts out to y'all. And as the game went on in the third and fourth quarter, I said, baby, Derrick Henry's only touched the ball once. Watch this. I said, this dude is about to take over this game. Sure enough, that 80-yard run, I said, there it goes. Here we go. Here we go.
He was hot. Here he got hot too. He was pissed.
Yeah.
On the flight. Yeah. Couldn't stop talking about it. And
see, it is competitive nature, man.
Love
you can't do nothing about it. You can't.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. And you guys, the thing I love about y'all is what you tell me every week. These guys win and they right back in the weight room. They right back in the meeting room. They making sure their nutrition is on point. Nobody's ever satisfied.
Itching to get back on the field. That's what you want.
Hump,
I love
had that video where it was on the plane that I don't know if people seen it, but he had Lamar on live, and Lamar's telling him, like, bro, you shouldn't even be on live right now. You need to be like, we need to be up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it says. Like y'all just have this never-ending desire to get better, to be better, because it's a long season and anything can happen. Anything can happen because right now Pittsburgh has the exact same record.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not like y'all just walking away with this thing. Kansas City's still undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a long season. And I love that y'all are never satisfied and that y'all understand that y'all do have flaws. You know, to the untrained eye, it looks like, oh, Baltimore, man, they look unstoppable. But to the professionals, the pros who are in those buildings, in those meetings, and who played the game, they know there's a lot of stuff y'all didn't see that we got to fix. And I love that about y'all, that y'all understand that and that y'all are working on fixing it. Because, I mean, y'all go to Cleveland, right? Next week.
Yeah.
That's not going to,
no, it is not.
If you think that's going to be a pushover game, man, please.
New energy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Last night it was a lot. It was a lot. And I don't know what happens moving forward. The Falcons just got killed. We just got killed. So, you know, we go see who can come back from the dead this week. They got to come to our house, you know, but we ain't going to have Mike. We ain't going to have CG. Bake going to have to bake for sure. Yeah. Our defense, man, our front four, I love them to death. But if we can't figure out how to rush with four and get home with four and create pressure with four like y'all can, like a lot of other people, like the Giants are doing right now, like people underestimate getting to the quarterback with just 4 guys, which you can do in the back end. Blitzing and sending pressure and all that, that's great. But good old-fashioned 4-man rush is always better. You want the pressures and the blitzes to be a change-up. You don't want that to be a every down thing all the time. That's the only way you can get pressure, because that's taking more people out the back end. Then you give people like Lamar Jackson extra space to make these throws, and it costs you. And hopefully we can figure it out, man. But I don't know what's going to happen with the Bucs. OU looks terrible. Yes, Gerald's sports fanning is all over the place. But, hopefully the Lakers could do something. And KD's back.
No,
KD's going to play.
You were a Lakers fan.
I'm a KD. Okay, here's what it is. No. Here's what it is. Went one weekend, then we're going to go to commercial break. Little league, you play these tournaments, football, basketball, whatever. We was playing a football tournament, and we had a game that morning, and we had one that evening. Well, that morning, after the game, we all went to my boy's house, Chris, and he was playing Live 96, I think it was, and he was shooting with Derek Fisher, and he wasn't missing. I'm like, man, who's this little light-skinned dude? I'm like, what's this dude he shoot with? So I'm like, shoot, I like that team, because, back in the 90s, or mid-90s, it was like, most people just like the Bulls, whatever. Unless you was like one of them cities, you just like the Bulls. Michael Jordan. I'm from Oklahoma. We didn't have a team. So I'm like, I'm going to deal with this yellow team because that guy that can shoot them. And then Kobe eventually became Kobe. Obviously, we knew Shaq was, and I just said, this is what I'm going to rock with. So that's how I became a Lakers guy, but I'm more of a players guy overall. Kobe just happened to be with the Lakers, but I'm not going to just jump off bandwagon. Oklahoma has a team now, so I rock with the Thunder. But overall, Kevin Durant. That's all I really care about.
I got to tell you something real quick. The Bucks were my favorite team growing up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Derrick Brooks. I love Derrick Brooks.
Yeah.
Booger. Barber.
Oh, Boog's great on TV too.
Yeah,
I like
doing
Boog.
Good.
He does
I
great.
really like Warren Sapp. I loved all them dudes. I picked him because of the creamsicle hat and that old school pirate. I like that pirate.
You're right.
That's my team.
It's crazy why kids pick the teams they like, or why people pick the teams they like. I get all types of messages like, "Oh, Gerald, I seen you like Batman, so I'm a fan of the Bucks now." I'm like, okay, good, root for them. Anyway, we're gonna go to commercial break. We got a lot more games to get into. Kansas City is still undefeated. San Francisco, I don't know. We're gonna see. It's a lot more to talk about. We'll be right back. Let's hear from our sponsors. See y'all in just a second.
We are back, and the segment next we're going to talk about some NFL news. Got to start with the Steelers versus the Jets. Man, there was a lot coming into this week. On the Steelers side, you got Russell Wilson starting over Justin Fields. George Pickens kind of telling the world he was starting, even though Tomlin wanted to keep it under wraps. That's a whole different conversation.
Right.
And then you had on the Jets side a trade, Devontae Adams into the fold.
A lot of storylines.
He is the guy.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm the savior. Let me help you. Help me help you. Let me help you.
Right.
And, there was a lot going into this game. I thought it was an awesome game watching. I thought the crowd was amazing in this game. On the TV side as a fan, that Renegade was rolling in the fourth quarter. But what I really want to dive into is, how everybody counted Russ out. And it's only been one game, right?
Yes, let's talk about it.
But the way he was able to push the ball down the field and then score touchdowns was the biggest difference from watching what they previously were to what they were now. Him being able to distribute the ball and take advantage of that run game. Najee Harris, he didn't get his fifth-year option picked up, and he is running like a madman right now. He's really looking good. The O-line, playing very well, and they were able to give Russell a lot of time, and then he was throwing up jump balls to George Pickens, who I think is a baller. So what were your thoughts on the game? It was a back and forth game at the beginning. I just want to know more of your thoughts of the game.
Yeah, so let's stay right there with Russ. Let's start with Russ. Let's start the quarterback competition or controversy in Pittsburgh. Little revisionist history. That was a QB competition. Russ was brought in. Justin Fields was brought in. Boom. Russ was assumed the starter from the jump, but Mike Tomlin, always trying to figure out what the best option is, said we're going to have a competition. Things are going back and forth. Russ pulls his hamstring. Justin Fields is playing decent, really good to good in the preseason. But then Russ gets healthy enough to play in the final preseason game. Russ gets named the starter, but he aggravates that hammy again.
It was a calf. Just wanted to
calf.
clarify.
I keep saying hammy. Calf.
Yeah, it's all
I keep
good.
saying calf because I had it, so I know how painful that is. Calf. Sorry about that. And fast forward, they're 4-2. Okay, we hear Mike Tomlin say Justin Fields has been good, not to be confused with great. I love the passive aggressiveness, but there's Mike Tomlin. He just gotta love Mike Tomlin. But Russ came in. Here's what I like about Russ. It's because he got named a starter before the season, but then he pulled his calf and Justin Fields ended up starting. In QB competitions or in competition period, things happen. Injury is part of that. So Russ ended up having to sit out. You never seen Russ pout. You always seen him helping out. Russ always had great energy. Here's what I love the most. He became the starter. They put him in this game versus the Jets, and he showed everybody why I won the job.
Yeah. Do you think they gave him insurance throughout that time? Or do you think he was like, Justin's not taking advantage of his op? You know, because if Justin took full advantage of his op and he's putting up 30 points a game, you can't change it. Like, you got to go with the momentum, right?
I think it was a mix. I think it was a mix of both. Like, you know, Russ, you the starter, you our guy. He's going to play. But I think they also, this is Mike Tomlin we talking about. I don't think Mike Tomlin beat around the bush or nothing. Mike Tomlin probably told, hey, man, if dude balling, he in there. Like, I'm trying to win. I need to win championships. I ain't in here to be okay, be good. Baltimore over there going stupid. Cincinnati still got Joe Burrow. Cleveland's defense is still good. Like, we ain't got time for the nonsense. So if he's balling, he's going to do it. But that's why Mike Tomlin said Justin Fields, he helps us out. He'll be in packages. He's been good, but not to be confused with great. He's basically telling you, yes,
I'm trying to win a championship.
He got us to 4-2, but that ain't enough. We trying to win a championship. So when Russ came in to do what Russ just did, he operated the offense well. He was throwing. Here's what he did that me and you both asked for. He got the ball to George Pickens.
Yeah.
And he targeted him repeatedly. He was very intentional about, I don't care what happened. I'm throwing the ball up to this kid because obviously he's seen what a lot of us seen, but he's seen it in practice to where get the ball in his vicinity and he got a chance to go get it. And George Pickens did his thing. Russ played really well. And, you know, Pittsburgh, they're a headache. They're a headache. If Russ...
Yeah, they're rolling too, man. I think they're
play like
underrated.
This and keep going,
not many people in the media have been talking about them like that. And they're kind of like, hey, talk about the Ravens, talk about the Chiefs all you want, but hey,
we 5-2.
We're 5-2, and we're tied. You know, we're tied with the Ravens at first place. So they're going to continue to be a headache because of that defense and special teams. That special teams, they don't play around on special teams either. And then offensively, they're going to continue to get their groove, and you know, it's going to come down to the wire between us and them. And, you know, that's what you want in a division, and that's what you want when it comes to a football fan is a lot of competition like that where it's head to head, pause. Another thing we got to go over to is the like Rodgers. Do we, how do you want to talk about this? Because does Zach Wilson need an apology? You know, last year with not, you know, the O-line that he didn't have that they have this year, the skilled players, he was 4-3 at this point. And now you look at it and Aaron Rodgers is 2-5. Like, is it too early to give up on him? Can they turn it around, or is it too late? I mean, the Jets are under a lot of pressure, and then, you know, that media is going crazy up there because they're had high expectations, man. They were looking at the Super Bowl, and now they're going to have to try to do whatever they can to get in these playoffs. Do you think it can be done?
Yeah, I think they got the Patriots coming up. So, that's not a pushover game. They 2-5, so we can't just sit here and just be like, oh, the Patriots is 1-6, like the Jets is,
you are what
5-2.
Your record says you are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You 2-5. I don't care what all the people on your team. You 2-5. They got the Patriots coming up. Then they got the Texans. They got the Cardinals. We seen what K1 did yesterday. The Colts, you never know with them. The Seahawks, Dolphins, and Jacksonville, and the Rams, you never count out Matt Stafford.
You might not be saying if Tua's playing.
Yeah, if Tua come back, see what I'm saying? And then they got the Bills again, and then the Dolphins again. Man, this is they rolled ahead. Ain't no slouch. But here's what I want to say: Aaron Rodgers is my favorite player, and I can be biased, but I don't get paid to be biased. I'm a realist, and if we gonna fault one side and say, oh well, if they winning, it's because they got Aaron Rodgers, this and this. If they losing, it's the same thing. He's the quarterback, okay? Yes, we seen one pick hit Garrett Wilson in his chest and bounce back. But the other one, the first pick, that was on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Them picks in London.
That second pick was crucial, bro.
Yes. The picks in London.
Momentum out.
You can say whatever you want. Them picks in London, no. This offense is not operating well. There's too many penalties. Tyron Smith is my guy, but he going through it right now, man. He's struggling to block anybody. He's struggling. Like he just like the O-line, like Breece Hall. Without Breece Hall, I don't know if this team would have scored 3 points. Like Breece Hall just lost his mind, man. Devontae Adams, he's getting back in the groove of things. He was out with hamstring, but the offense is just not flowing well, man. I don't know. It's everybody.
Yeah, somebody said they went from motion. They went from motion the week before, and then they went back to stagnant. That I have better players than you, and played straight up, and that's kind of what they put on the field. But one thing that I saw from the game was defensively, the Jets, they just looked beat up, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you looked at it, they had 3 starters out in the secondary, and it showed. And they're not playing with that edge that you're used to seeing from them. Like, there's a lot of good football players. There's the Williams brothers over there. CJ Mosley's still in that middle as well. Sherwood playing in there for number 44, broken hand linebacker, and you got some good players.
McDonald is balling.
Like, got a lot of good players. They're really missing. They missed Carter the other night, and they missed DJ Reed. And hopefully they can get them back fast because they need them. And they weren't slowing down the Steelers' offense very well. And, I know that they want to be good because they've been good for so long. But that's just gotta sting when you're just going through it like that, and you got to do everything you can to turn the ship, and you got to do it as fast as possible. And they have a game that they could do that with the Patriots.
Yeah, and I think now if you look back at that video that came out of Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, where we kind of downplayed it, where it's like, oh, this is training camp, this and this. There might have been something to that, where there was a disconnect that we didn't know was happening, that we didn't realize was on the horizon. But it's showing. It's definitely showing. And on both, they just got a lot of players, but just being a name ain't it. Quentin Williams, I love Quentin Williams. He was on my top 5 D tackles. I feel like he's got to bring a little more. When your team is struggling or y'all going through it on both sides of the ball, your guys got to bring the spark. And he's one of those guys who's got to bring the spark. He's in the middle of the defense. That's why I said his name. He's in the middle of the defense. And everything starts with the D-line. So if he gets going and starts putting, in the run, in the pass, then it makes it easier on the back end. Sauce is starting to get a lot more holding calls. Maybe some things he was getting away with, they just said, nah, we ain't allowing it no more. And it could be just,
you think Hassan Reddick's gonna bolster that defense at all? He's going to help?
Yeah, for sure. Because remember, they lost Jermaine Johnson early.
Yeah.
And then Hassan Reddick. Hopefully,
and McDonald's on the other side.
That's what I said. Will McDonald, he's balling. He's playing great. He's 8 sacks right now. I think he's sitting at 8 sacks, something like that.
7, I think 7.
Yeah. But he's in Hassan Reddick, add a little pressure. But man, top to bottom, I've been in locker rooms and on teams like this. You just look for a spark. And I don't know what the head coach is saying right now, but the person to turn this around is going to be Aaron Rodgers. And it's not just with his play. In that locker room, he needs to, this is what I think needs to happen. He needs to get up in the team meeting and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is what we need to do, because he's the most accomplished, obviously first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, 4-time MVP. He's won a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes. He has to get up there and lead these guys. The coach can only do so much. All right, Tom has said multiple times, man, listen, Bill, these guys will be worn out from Bill, and Bill wasn't changing. So I would have to be that bridge between Bill and the players. And I would keep the guys on, hey, listen, I know, I get it, I fully understand, but just trust him and listen. We're going to win. Just do it. Do it how he says. Just get through it, and we're going to win. And that's why y'all kept winning. Y'all had a bridge, but Tom was also playing good.
Really good.
He was also playing extremely good. So, but I'm a firm believer in A-Rod, and I think this thing can get turned around because, I mean, like the AFC, this year in the NFL is not like, whereas good. Man, this year is all over the place. This year is all over. So anything can happen. And we only, 5-2, 7 games? It's 10 more games. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in 10 games.
Yes,
We've seen some crazy things happen. Shoot. Over the last 5 weeks of a season, we've seen some crazy things happen.
Yeah, you had the Eagles, a year ago, they were 10-0, and then
that's what I'm saying.
Ended up losing a bunch at the end, and then losing, I think it was to Tampa.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. That was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. Anything can happen. So it's a long season, but how it looks right now, it don't look promising.
Yeah.
But maybe they can turn around.
Week to week.
The Kansas City Chiefs are still undefeated. They're finding a way to win. They are finding a freaking way to win. You know what? But I don't even want to talk about that. The Kansas City is Kansas City. All right. 49ers are the 49ers. They dealing with a lot of injuries. Prayers out to Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, man.
Prayers out to freaking Deebo Samuel, who's in the hospital.
Yeah, pneumonia.
And they don't know when
gosh.
they said his lungs is filled with flu. Man, listen. Any of y'all whoever can't catch your breath or can't breathe, and you coughing a lot, of you, man, y'all don't understand. That is a scary feeling. It's a lot of pain. So prayers out to them. Prayers out to whoever that kid was that Trent punched. I hope he all right. He probably went into concussion protocol.
Hey, what's crazy is he did it first too. Oh, man.
And why would he do that? Why would you put
that?
They need to put that video when a person say poke the bear, put that video up. Why would you hit him while he's on the ground? No, a person who's known to bully everything, why would you do that? To prove what?
Yeah, and he let him know as he was going out as he got ejected. He's like, "Yeah, you already know what type of time it is with me."
Right,
I will say,
already know what I'm on.
You can't do it. You can't hurt your team, man. I know he's got it. But everybody's watching you. You gotta be able to hold your emotions. I know it's hard at times,
and they always catch the second person.
They always catch the second person, but he's too valuable to his team. They always need him. And we need to talk about Spagnuolo for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what he's doing every year with a new group of guys is like, my goodness, you are a hell of a coach.
Spags is the guy, man.
Spags is the guy at DC right now. I know Brian Flores gets a lot of love, but Steve Spagnuolo, what he's doing,
we're getting spoiled.
Is so impressive because he has his dudes ready to play man-to-man all game.
Yeah.
Chris Jones, go eat. These boys is going to lock up. And man, Nick Bolton holding it down in the middle, playing unbelievable. I think he's one of the better linebackers in this league. But I just love how they play on defense. And Spagnuolo needs a lot of credit because
he need a lot of credit.
Good at what he does.
Yeah, he's gonna be on a short list for assistant of the year. But that's something I want to talk about, and you can talk. I want to talk to you more about it because you're still playing. I'll speak a little bit on it, but since you're still playing, I'll let you talk about it. Not too in depth because I don't want you, But the play with Patrick Mahomes running up the sideline.
Oh.
I tweeted out that people are so scared to hit the quarterback now.
Yeah, because that's a big fine, bro.
Pat understood that.
Yeah, they all know that. They all know that.
He used it to his advantage. He tiptoed up that sideline. And the NFL has made the players so scared. And I can talk on it because I was still playing when they started implementing this weight on the quarterback and all that. They've made defensive players so scared to hit quarterbacks in any form or fashion that things like that are happening.
Yeah, that's
Patrick
tough,
Mahomes
man.
and Patrick Mahomes of all be the face of the NFL. You think, okay, there's guys who don't even amount to the status that Patrick Mahomes has who's getting those calls. Do you think people are going to go try and kill Patrick Mahomes of all people? They didn't even want to push him out of bounds, let alone come and try and take his head off. It's tough too because
you also have the ones that do get called in games that aren't, that get called, but then they're not getting the fines in the mail because they know he was still in bounds. So you have those as well, right?
Yeah.
Where it's such a tough bang, bang play. But I always say you need to go to the ball until, somebody's got to get him out. That's just, it is what it is. Like, you got to push him out. Like, it is what it is. If you're knowing how the game is being played,
right,
you have to, like Dwight Freeney said in the interview, you need to go all the way out and you need to hit him. That's what it is. And in that game, you should have had all the guys that were running. You need to run and push them out. Got to.
Yeah, that was definitely an effort play for sure. Guys, just somebody got to push them out. But it's still the white.
I know what you're talking about. It's so hard. It's such a hard thing.
I said that right when it happened, but this is before Dwight Freeney even did. This is as soon as that play happened, I tweeted, guys are so scared to hit the quarterback that Patrick Mahomes said, "Oh, they not, man. I'm about to let's see what happens." And he did. He took advantage,
the flop,
man.
There's the flopping too, because then they're getting hit and they're throwing their hands up, getting flags.
Oh, Josh Allen is king of flop. They're like, Josh, come on, man. You 6'6", 260. What are you doing? Like, nobody. That little dude didn't make you do all that. Come on, man. Relax, bro. Like, come on, man.
There's got to be consequences now for flopping, right?
Yeah, like, what's going on? Then you got Aaron Rodgers, who's old school. He said on the Pat McAfee show, he said, man, they gave a call last week, and I'll take it. He said, but I don't want to get a first down like that. He said, I don't want to get a first down. Like, I'm from the old school football where, like, I've been hit so hard where I'm like, freak, if this is what the NFL is, I don't know if I want it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I got a call on him when I was with Carolina. I hit him in the end zone and I landed sideways. Like, you can literally pull it up. I landed sideways, and that was the play where he caught the flag. They threw the flag and he caught it while he was on the ground. He stood up. He said, gee, that was a horrible call. Like, that was a bad call. He said, I'll take it, but that was a bad call. And it's like, and the refs actually are doing really good this year, but, the guys are just scared, man. You don't know. You don't know.
It's tough. But I do want to talk a little bit about some of the players in this game. Tom had a great interview with Patrick. He talked about a little bit on, in the game. That's Tom Brady. I can call him Tom since I have a relationship with him. Now everybody else does. So Tom talked about that as you get in the groove of your career, that you're no longer chasing MVPs and different accolades, that you're just trying to win ships. And he said that Patrick, all he's trying to do each and every week is win the game, no matter what, no matter who's in, no matter how it's done. It doesn't matter if
ain't about my numbers.
If I get a win, it's middle fingers to you.
Yep.
And you can see that's kind of how Patrick's going right now, is that he knows his defense is really, really well, playing really good football, and he knows he's just got to keep grinding every week, stay poised, stay in the moment, stay in the present. You're not going to rattle him. And it's so impressive how he gets it done. It's not pretty right now for him. It's not the 50 touchdowns that he was accustomed to earlier in his career, but it's hitting open receivers when it matters. It's hitting Travis Kelce on a third down. It's hitting Noah Gray over the middle. It's leaning on it's checking a play that nobody really sees to a run when you're getting too high and you're getting
they ran the ball well when he was struggling.
It's controlling the game and being a point guard, and he is doing that. And it is impressive to watch. I know it's not what fans are like, oh, he's not da-da-da-da-da, but he's playing offense and defense at quarterback, and it is impressive.
It's very impressive. And to your point, that's what y'all's quarterback is doing. He's got 2 MVPs. He's made it to AFC Champ. He's like, man, forget all that. Win.
I'm trying to win.
I want to win. Win. I got the accolades. I want to win. And that's what Kansas City is doing right now. They're saying, hey, man, whatever. Can't Patrick Mahomes throw a pick? All right, whatever. I'm come back. Hey, I'm gonna have to throw a million of them, but I'm not stopping. I'm gonna make these plays. He's very resilient, and that's why he is who he is. And Kansas City's rolling, man. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward.
What about the Niners real quick, G? What are your thoughts? Brock Purdy kind of struggled in this game. Didn't look like Brock Purdy. Niners, a lot of injuries. George Kittle's got to step up, right? I mean, he's playing really good football, but I'm just saying that now there's injuries. He's got to be the number one option. Like, you know, you tell me more about what you see from the Niners right now.
Yeah, Brock actually was playing really good leading up to this point. He had a bad day at the office, but I mean, how many times have we seen that with Spags?
Yeah.
You know, with Spags. Like, so you don't want to overgrade this one with Brock. You know, you lose your 2 top receivers. Like you said, Kittle's playing really good. He's going to have to step it up. They're going to have to run the heck out of the football, get some play action going, and they're going to have to play lights out on defense. They just got to play lights out on defense. But like I said, Atlanta's all over the place. Atlanta was in the mix. The Bucs all over the place. You never know what you're going to get from Philly. You know, like,
and they're still in the mix to leading their division, too. Their division is all over, too.
Seattle will be really good, and then they have a 2-game lull. You're like, well, which Seattle are we getting? You know, you don't know which Rams you're going to get. So the Cardinals, K1, you never count them out as long as K1 is at quarterback. But across the NFC, they still in the mix with everybody else, man. And
which is a good thing for them because they had time to develop and grow and get their guys back.
We could hope CMC come back. Hopefully Debo, you know, heals up and he'll be back. And, you know, I still think the 49ers can be one of those teams. We've been like Spags, or Kansas City period, we've been spoiled by seeing the 49ers just be so freaking incredible and playing at such a high clip and just destroying people that they're struggling a little bit and grinding through these games that we're just kind of maybe overreacting, but we're not taking into account all the injuries and all the different variables that are going into this game. I mean, you've been on championship teams where y'all have had to grind it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that Super Bowl game, a lot of people was complaining, oh, the Super Bowl game ain't this and this, but y'all was sitting with that ring in Atlanta celebrating after that game, and y'all could care less about what people said. We got the job done. You know, y'all had to grind that one out. Yep. So I think that's where San Fran is right now, but I don't want people to overgrade Brock Purdy on this because he's been playing really well up to this point. Anybody who's running up against Spags right now, Spags, I'm taking Spags. If it's the field and Spags, give me Spags.
Watch out. Watch out.
That's how it is. But we're going to take a quick break, but we got a special guest. Y'all going to love this one. I love him. He loves me. But our teams don't love each other. Well, we got a special guest coming up. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with our special guest. I'll let you. Yo, I told y'all we had a special guest. I told y'all this was my brother. This is my guy. We love each other, but I told y'all my team and his team, they hate each other, but I do not hate him at all. I'm so happy they decided to be here. On behalf of Old Spice, we got my guy, one of the funniest, most incredible, electrifying people on and off the football field, one of the best defensive linemen to ever play the game, my guy, Cam Jordan. Thanks for joining the show, my brother.
Lord, that's the intro. I appreciate that.
Man. Yeah. Hey, Cam, so we're going to get into the football and all that, but for a second, I want kind of you to tell the people about what makes Cam Jordan, because one thing we've always seen, we've seen the program photos. Obviously, we've seen all the different program photo looks, but just the energy you bring on and off the field, how entertaining you are and everything you do off the field, the creativity. I want to talk to you a little bit about the touchdown celebration, where that comes from, but just what makes Cam Jordan.
Man, I don't know. Like it's not something I have to try and be. It's something I've always been.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been somebody who wakes up at 6 a.m. singing at the top of the stairs till moms comes down and brings down the hammer. Like shut your mouth. Everybody else is asleep.
Right.
I've always ran my butt off until it's about 8:30 at night, and then I crash out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm an adult, I do the same thing. 6 a.m.
Right.
I'm in here, hyperbaric chamber rehab, getting the juice flowing, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And it shows, man. And to your point, you just said what you're doing, hyperbaric chamber, different things, man. You're the Saints all-time leader in sacks. That is not an easy feat for any NFL team to be at the highest level of competitors and to lead an organization in any category. In the history of football, your organization, you lead the organization in sacks. What has been your key to your longevity and just making your game, taking it to the next level? You're all-decade player. Again, to be one of the best players ever, but for sure for that 10-year span, man, not easy to do to be that consistent, but you've been consistent your entire career. What's your secret, man? What's the key?
Keep calm, and always strive to reach new levels. That's the whole point of life is trying to continue to advance. So when I think about year to year, from year 1 to year 2, year 10 to year 11, year 13 to year 14, I'm always trying to improve some aspect of the game. So not being complacent. You got to keep it fresh. Whether that's a spin move, that's a chop, that's a Jared McCoy jump through the B gap. Like I'm trying to do any and everything, and always try to evolve the game.
Yeah. So what has been the evolution of you? When I say that, I say from where you were to where you at right now, where the team is at, the mindset of how you had to evolve as a player, but not just as a player, but for going from a rookie into a Pro Bowl, all-pro player, now to a leader and a vet on a team. What has been your mindset and what is the team's mindset currently, and how has that had to change as you've been through different waves as far as what the Saints have been through in your career?
Man, things come full circle. It's like when you were a kid and you're like, 10, 11 years old, and you was out there playing football with your friends, and you look around and you come into class and you funky, and you're like, oh, BO, that's where you got to start using deodorant. Also shout out to Old Spice. They keep BO in check 24/7 from pits to the feet and everything in between. But when you go out there, you literally like, oh, this is something I got to adapt to. My body's changing. So when you're a kid, you have to start applying deodorant, start taking extra showers, whatever that is. Now that you're an adult, a defensive end, going from a rookie to a vet to a super vet, seeing as much success as an NFC championship game to being in unfamiliar places, like losing 5 games in a row for the first time in my professional career. You sit there and like, all right, I have to adapt. I have to change. What can we do to get back to a winning situation?
Yeah, Sean Payton and Dennis Allen. You know, when I look at them, you know, I competed against Sean Payton. It's great that I played in this era because I'm on TV right now with Steve Mariucci and Kurt Warner, who Steve coached back more further back then, and Kurt played. You know, I don't think Kurt played 20, 25 years, something like that, something crazy. I can't think of how long it's been, but they haven't played in this era. And the thing that I love is that I get to talk about coaches right now that I played against. And I have a lot of experience with playing against Sean Payton, preparing for Sean Payton, and having so much respect for what he's done and what he was. So when I see different characteristics and I get to talk about like the Broncos currently or what he might be thinking, I'm like, well, I know not from being in the building, but competing against him, what he may be thinking and what we had to prepare for. So seeing him and kind of the similarities to almost how they walk, him and Dennis Allen, to how they carry the card, everything, that mannerisms on the sideline is cool to see. But what is some of the differences you've seen or just kind of playing for one versus playing for the other? Because Dennis, he been your D coordinator for a long time, but it's different when you're a coordinator going into a head coach. I had the opportunity to be around him at the Pro Bowl. Cool dude. Loved him to death. But when I see him on that sideline, man, it's a different type of energy when you actually preparing and having to be a head coach or a coordinator for that team. So what's the kind of the differences or similarities that you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, I think the similarities would be the calm demeanor that they have Monday through Saturday. DA is just consistent. Like, these are the emphasis, these are the focal points. This is where we're going to drill home. And even on game day, DA is now, you know, consistent as they come. This is what we need to get back to. This is what we got to focus on. We talked about this all week. This is how we win. We got to get to, you know, stick to our script and continue our way. Sean is Monday through Saturday, even kill, and on Sunday, kill switch. Like, you know, Sean spazzes out. I don't even know if he remembers what he'll say or do during a game time. And after, then he's back to Sean Payton. He's SP during the game day, though.
Yeah, he's a different guy, man. And I said that about Derek Carr. I said the guy who led on TV, I said the guy who led our Bible study in Vegas was Derek Carr, but the guy who grabbed his crotch and did a Michael Jackson celebration is DC. So he got two different personalities too. But current state of the team, you said this is the first time that you in your career, y'all have lost 5 in a row. You played against us, you know I've done that more than once, multiple times. So I know how to adjust to that. What's been the adjustment? Where's the current mind state of the team? I know you said y'all just met as a defensive line, so you're leading properly, obviously, to take those next steps to get back on track. But where do where's y'all's mindset at right now moving forward?
Man, after a Thursday game, you got a couple days. It's like, not a bye week, but a mini bye week. It gives you time to refocus.
Right.
It's the idea that either one, you get healthy because you got a couple extra days to do so, or two, push yourself harder because it's time to push yourself to the limits to get back to the W column. You have to be able to take your positives and make them strengths, take those negatives and eliminate the weaknesses. And you got to do that in a rapid time. So we look at the last 2 games and we had more missed tackles than we did the last, first 5 games.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to eliminate those.
I got you. So last thing, and then we're going to get into why you here. Tell us all where the sack celebration came from. I got to know.
I'm just going to pan down. Look, it goes just like this. You got to take it to a whole nother level.
Right.
The idea that my rookie year, I had 1 sack, and they wanted me a run stopper.
Right.
So 13 years later, Saints all-time sack leader, 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, 2010
all
decade,
that.
whatever.
All that,
that's not what they wanted. They wanted me to be a run stopper. So I was like, hey, everyone counts. I'm taking it to the next level.
Will you evolved it to this? I said, oh yeah, that's different. All right. All right. Last thing. Tell us why you're here. Tell us about Old Spice. Give it to us, man. What you got?
Come on, look, Old Spice. I'm just happy to partner up with them again because they've
Yeah.
been so detrimental to your life of smelling good.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you, you get 24/7, top of the head to the feet. You can use it. You can use it in any crevice, is what I'm told. Now, get your BO right. Get you feeling good. When
Yeah.
you feel good, you feel fresh. When you feel
Yeah.
fresh, you can play good.
Yeah.
You know, it might even one of these huddles. I might even bring one out to spray.
Hey, that need to be your next sack celebration. Just
Hey, boy, gonna be airing it down. Write me down.
I love it. I love it, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you representing everything you represent as a husband, family man, as a pro. Keep repping your team. Keep repping Old Spice. This is Big Cam Jordan, one of the greatest on and off the field. I believe my man is just scratching the surface. He will be a even bigger superstar after football because he's one of the most entertaining people I've ever been around, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Holla at you.
Hey, that's high praise. That's high praise. And there's never been any hate between the Saints and the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
It's always been the Buccaneers trying to create hate with the Saints, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, yeah, I mean, we couldn't beat y'all, man. It is what it is. Whatever. All right, love you, bro.
Always, my guy.
We are back. Man, that is our guy, Cam Jordan, one of the most entertaining guys on and off the field.
Way
Saints
to go,
legend, future Hall of Famer, all decade. Cam is just one of those, and Cam has a future in doing what we doing right now, being on TV. He's going to be a star way beyond football, man. Appreciate Cam coming on. But now it's time for our favorite segment, our weekly Drive to Win, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. I love this segment because we get to show love and pay homage and give flowers to people who balled this week. Killer, who you got? I bet I can guess
my
one.
Flowers, are it's hard to not pick them because they're both generational. Dexter Lawrence on defense, what he is doing is generational. He is a nose tackle that is leading the league in sacks. He's got 9. Shout out to Dexter Lawrence. He's my drive to win. Even though they lost, he is hooping. And then I got to go with Action Jackson, Lamar Jackson, my teammate. How can I not pick him? MVP looking like. And when you go 17 for 22 for 281 yards, throw for 5 touchdowns, and your passer rating is 158.1, ooh-wee, you got to be my drive to win. Those are my guys.
Lamar,
I give my flowers to y'all.
Yeah, Lamar, he's leading for MVP, obviously, right now, man. He's playing lights out. But again, he could care less about that, man. He want to win.
He could care less.
He's playing,
my dog
he's playing
is
like he wants to.
in.
He really, it's crazy to say, but people don't, you wouldn't believe it, but I promise you he doesn't care.
He does not
care about MVP. He wants to win games.
Yeah.
Lamar's balling.
Like I keep saying, Buddy is locked in.
He's locked in.
He wants to do anything and everything to win. That's all he cares about right now.
Yeah, he's playing like it. Yeah. Well, my drive to win one, we're going to stay right there in New York. We're going to go over to the Philly side of the ball, man. A revenge game. Was this guy going to make the Giants regret trading him?
Oh, yeah.
In conference, in division, and he made them pay. Yeah. My drive to win is none other than Saquon Barkley, 17 carries, 176 yards, and a tug.
Yes. Gee, that first one, the truck stick, he set the tone.
We seen Saquon, as strong as his legs are, as stocky as he is, Saquon has more been a finesse guy, make you miss, outrun you, all that. Oh, no. He meant this one.
He set the tone.
He made sure he let everybody know this is what I'm on today.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Olympics, Kobe Bryant running into Paul
Gasol. Like, yeah, let me let you know what I'm on. And Saquon, he's one of my drive to win. My other one, Jacksonville was struggling. They was in London last week. They lost to Chicago Bears. They needed a big win this week. They needed guys to step up. You think it's going to be Trevor Lawrence, but right before the game, ETN was announced as being out, and Tank Bigsby, 26 carries, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Good
and
pick.
Listen, the name fits. That's exactly how he was running, like a tank. He was trucking people too. Tank was going crazy. So my 2 drivers win is the 2 running backs. I'm showing love to the offense. Dang, Joe, what's your problem? What you going through? Anyway, showing love to the running backs, showing love to the offense. Saquon, Barkley, Tank Bigsby. Those are my drives to win. And then my guy Killer, he had Dexter Lawrence and, of course, Lamar Jackson. Why wouldn't he put him on there? He's balling. This has been our,
and then I will say I gotta throw in my honorable mention like I always do. It's got to go to Jared Goff, bro. Jared Goff in that big dub. He was 22 of 25, 280, 2 tugs. He's my honorable mention. He really was a difference maker in that game.
And what's the kicker's name?
I don't
Jake
know.
Bates.
He had that crazy story where he was like in the UFL. Jake Bates,
Jake Bates.
He hit the game winner. Shout out to him,
Shout out to you, man, because that is no slouch. Hey, and real quick, let me give an honorable mention too. Hold on. I would be remiss. You know where I'm going with this. I would be remiss. Hold on. Let me give a little honorable mention. 2 guys I feel like are leading for Defensive Player of the Year. One is Dexter Lawrence, and of course I got to go one more. My guy Gink, he is balling. He is my honorable mention. 7 total tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs, 2 QB hits. Gink is going crazy. Let's make Gink famous. This has been our weekly Drive to Win, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. Now, let's get into this week's games. We're going to run through these quick, make our picks, and then we're going to get out of here. All right, Killer. Who we got? Who's on the... Let's start with Thursday night. Vikings and Rams. Who you got?
I got the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings too. I think most people will be going with the Vikings. I think they're pissed that they let that one slip. They feel like they should still be one of the undefeated teams, and I think the Rams got to pay for it. Yeah. All right, Packers at Jaguars.
Packers.
I'm going Packers too. Cardinals at Dolphins. Who you got?
Cardinals.
I'm going to go with K1, man. K1 is just, I can't count K1 out. Jets at Patriots.
Jets.
I'm going Jets too. Ravens at Browns. I think we're both going Ravens, obviously. Now, here's one. Eagles at the Bengals.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Bengals. You take the Eagles.
I'm not doing that. I was going with Cincinnati too. Going with Cincinnati. Colts at Texans. Man, we going to disagree on something. Colts at Texans. This ain't one of them.
Texans.
All right. Titans and Lions. I don't think this is one of them either. Now, this is where we may differ. Falcons at Bucks.
I'll go with the Falcons.
Yeah, man. I'm going with the Bucks out of loyalty. And
respect it.
Yeah, I love Baker. And I just being honest about why I'm picking the Bucks. My football analyst mind is not picking the Bucks in this one, but my loyalty is picking the Bucks. Yeah. I just gotta be honest. I'm picking the Bucks.
They got the 3 running backs still.
Yeah, so we'll see. And I trust Levante David. I trust Baker. Saints at Chargers.
This is gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a good game.
If Derek Carr plays.
Yeah, I think Justin Herbert.
Does he play?
I don't know. DC
I'll
stuff.
take the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers too. Justin Herbert put up a lot of yards yesterday, but this is kind of the Justin Herbert story. He puts up crazy numbers, but then it just leads to nothing.
But that guy, Rieger, that was a touchdown.
Yeah. You're right.
There's a couple other drops in there too.
You are what your record says.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm going with Chargers though.
Herbo too.
Yeah, Bills at Seahawks. This is another good one. This is another good game.
I think this is gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
Oof. Who are you gonna go with?
I'm gonna go with the Bills, man.
Yeah.
I think they playing with a lot of momentum off this last game.
Amari Cooper's going to get more comfy and more comfy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills.
I'm going to go with the Bills too.
Here's one I expected to be a little different, the storyline. Didn't expect it to be what it is now. Prayers out to Jaden Daniels. Hopefully he can shake back. The rib. If you ever had a broken rib or something out of place down there, man, there's hell to deal with. You can't stand up straight. You can't breathe. All this bad.
Yeah, I got chronic fractured ribs that pop out still.
Yeah, see, man, you got Caleb Williams coming off the bye week, playing his best 2 games, playing his best game of his rookie season, going into the Commanders. I would love to have seen Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the Commanders still put up buckets. Marcus Mariota. It's crazy. You got Jaden Daniels, who's a second pick. Marcus Mariota, who was a second pick. And he's playing the way he's playing. The Commanders, number 1 in the NFC East. Who you got?
I got the Bears.
Hey, man, pick somebody else. I got the Bears. I got the Bears, too. Chiefs and Raiders. Now, this is a story. Because preseason, you seen the Raiders had the little Patrick Mahomes dog. And then Patrick Mahomes, they asked him, did you need any motivation? Did that motivate you? And Patrick Mahomes said, what we did last year in Vegas, if we need any more motivation than that, then we shouldn't be who we are.
Yeah.
So this is one to watch. I want to see if the struggling Patrick Mahomes we've been seeing, if he say, forget all that, I'm going for 1 million. I'm putting up 1 million yards this game. I'm putting up 1 million yards this game. It is. But I got the Chiefs. You got the Chiefs, assuming.
Yeah.
Panthers at Broncos.
Broncos.
Cowboys at 49ers.
Who you got? I want to hear who you got.
I got the Niners, man. The Cowboys don't play well up there. They just don't win up there.
Yeah. I'm just going to go with the Cowboys. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, the 49ers still can run the ball. You got Trent Williams still with no rushers.
I'm just going to go with the Cowboys just to be different. That's it. Yeah. No other reason. Not?
And then finally, Monday
Giants
night.
At the Steelers, Giants at Monday Steelers. Night.
I got Steelers.
I got the Steelers too.
Yeah. All right. Those are our picks. Those will be posted. This is the end of our show. This has been great, man. We talked about Baltimore, who is, I believe, Killer. He can't say a lot because he's on the team, but I believe is playing the best football right now, the best team in all of football. Talked about that. We talked about the Bucs. Talked about last week's games, whether it's the Steelers and the QB controversy. Is it one? I don't know. The Jets, will they figure it out? I don't know. But we talked about our picks. We had a whole lot. We had a great interview with Cam Jordan. But the show is at the end. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share. We still want to hear from you. McCoy Van Noy at yahoosports.com. Killer, you got anything before we go?
Man, I just want to say appreciate all the fans that tune in each and every week. We appreciate you.
For sure.
I appreciate Gerald putting great effort into this show. I appreciate being a co-host with him and just love, man. Just spread love. If you get a chance, tell somebody you love them.
For sure.
And let's get on to week 8. Let's get it.
Hey, one last thing, man. Shouts to my guy. My guy got in at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. And he said, you know what? I can't disappoint my fans.
Yo.
We didn't disappoint them yesterday. I can't disappoint them today. Shouts to my guy for bringing the energy.
Appreciate
I know he's
that.
tired, but they got the day off. Let my guy get some rest. But shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all the people who make our show go.
Mm-hmm.
Brett, John, Addy, we love y'all, man. We appreciate everything y'all do for us, but we are out and we'll see y'all next week. Peace!